The year is 1692, and Salem, Massachusetts is a town battling more than just the elements. Brutal winters, conflicts with neighbors, and an economy that could barely support a bake sale had left tensions high. But the real terror, witches. Obviously, the devil had nothing better to do than ruin people's bread and sour their milk. It all started when a group of young girls began acting unusual. They screamed, convulsed, and claimed to see spirits. The town doctor, proving that medical school in the 1600s wasn't exactly rigorous, declared it witchcraft. Because what else could it be? Surely not bad water or a need for attention. The first accused were easy targets: Tituba, an enslaved woman; Sarah Good, a beggar; and Sarah Osborne, an elderly outcast. These weren't just accusations, they were entertainment. After all, what better way to liven up a dull Puritan day than to accuse your neighbour of consorting with the devil because their cow wandered into your garden? The trials were held in makeshift courtrooms where fear and hysteria replaced reason. Witnesses claimed to see the accused witches' spirits tormenting them, scratching, biting, even turning into animals. This was called spectral evidence, which is a fancy way of saying, "I had a bad dream, so you must be guilty." The judges, apparently experts in dream interpretation, allowed it as legitimate proof. The courtroom became a stage, with witnesses putting on performances that would make modern soap operas look tame. Young girls claimed the accused were choking them with invisible hands, and everyone believed them. Because sure, it's totally plausible that someone can strangle you from across the room while tied up in chains. The accusation spread like wildfire. Got a neighbor with a nicer vegetable garden? Witch. Did your bread fail to rise? Definitely witchcraft. Some villagers used the trials to settle old grudges or get rid of inconvenient rivals. It turns out nothing says "I don't like your cow" quite like accusing someone of flying on a broomstick. The judges, far from impartial, seemed to enjoy the drama. Chief Justice William Stoughton was particularly notorious, dismissing any doubts about the evidence. His motto might as well have been, "When in doubt, hang them out." For the accused, it was less a trial and more a formality before the gallows. Some of the accused tried to defend themselves, but how do you prove you haven't made a pact with the devil? It's not like you can pull out a certificate of innocence. Many were forced to confess just to save their lives, knowing they'd be condemned if they denied the charges. It was a trap with no way out. Like being asked by your boss if you actually like your job. By the height of the trials, no one was safe. Even prominent community members fell under suspicion. Rebecca Nurse, a respected elder and devout Christian, was accused and convicted. If someone like her could be a witch, anyone could. Salem wasn't just tearing apart its community, it was shredding its own moral fabric. 19 people were hanged, and one, Giles Corey, met a particularly creative fate, pressed to death with heavy stones. His last words, "More weight?" If nothing else, he won the award for the most metal way to go out in Puritan New England. Meanwhile, hundreds were imprisoned in squalid conditions. Some confessed to witchcraft to save themselves, others denied it and faced execution. It was a lose-lose situation, sort of like trying to explain to a Puritan why your bread didn't rise. By 1693, cooler heads, or perhaps just less paranoid ones, prevailed. The courts were shut down, and the use of spectral evidence was banned. Governor Phipps even pardoned the remaining accused. Unfortunately, no apology could bring back the lives lost, or undo the trauma of the trials. Years later, Salem tried to make amends with public apologies and reparations, but let's be honest, it was the 1600s, and reparations probably meant a couple of chickens and a heartfelt prayer. The Salem Witch Trials remain one of history's darkest chapters, a grim lesson in what happens when fear overtakes reason. And while we might laugh at the absurdity today, it's a reminder that sometimes the scariest thing isn't witches or devils, it's people who think their neighbor's cat is a demon. Hey there! If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It helps support the channel and ensures you won't miss any future content. Thanks for watching.